Hi everyone, welcome back to RTS and welcome back to our SOS series, our video number 2. Now SOS is a distress signal, but we're also going to call it a sampling of supplies. And go back and watch video number 1 if you want to hear more as to what this series is about, what is the concept, how you can save some money, and why the wallets are probably crying. Yes, absolutely, because supplies are going up, collections are going up, and how can we get supplies on a budget and still get the new things to play with? And so that's what this series is about. So in video number 2, we are going to talk about photo play and simple stories. So today we're going to talk about 2 manufacturers and 8 collections, and then how much did I spend, how much did I save? That's always fun to see. Yes, okay. And wait till you hear the grand total at the end of this series. Yes, okay. So this is a paper by Photoplay called Here and There. A very, very wonderful piece of paper. Now, I would say I like the B-side very, very much so. But then I was thinking as I was looking at this, because I want to once again thank Kathleen for sponsoring this series, because she gave me a wonderful gift certificate to a cherry on top, and that is how this series was created. So when I was sitting down that day, when I was doing this order, I thought, okay, well, this is the piece of paper I want. This is definitely something I'm drawn to for story-based type of concept. But I thought, well, if worse comes to worse, I could cut this in half, probably this way, you know, down the middle here in the vertical sense, and then I would still have this to play with. But for building this little bit of a collection kit, I am using the color scheme from this side. But this side here, oh, that's really, really nice. Especially if, to me, this reminds me of Train Station. And so, I just love that. Very, very nice. Yes. Okay. And then also too, what I did in video number 1 is that I showed different ways to get the mood and feel of a collection and different supplies you can add. And I'm going to do the same thing with this one. I didn't do them all the same, just to show a variety. Okay. Because I like to use a variety of supplies to break out of that mold of just always pulling enamel dots, always pulling a die cut pack. You know what I'm talking about. So for Here and There, from the Photoplay, this one's called World Traveler. What did I add to it? Okay. So with this one, okay, and I'm always running out of space. Yes, I was just working on another video and I'm really out of space. Yes. Okay, so then what I did was I added these papers to go with it, and then I was just using this color scheme from this Photoplay paper with also that dark blue and then that brick color. Okay, isn't that a beautiful piece of paper? Yes. And then also to the look and feel of this vintage postcard traveling type of paper. And then of course cameras, and then also too I pulled let me see here. I pulled this yellow mustard, okay? This mustard yellow, okay? And some of those just came from paper pads. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 6 pieces of paper, and I only had to buy 1, but then I'm going to make the collection, okay? And so this basically has a mood and feel of traveling, vintage, all that type of things. And this is also what I would consider a more masculine kit. You could do a lot of topics. This isn't just for traveling. This isn't just for vintage photos. This is definitely masculine. Yes, look at the colors. Look at the tones. Those darker tones. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so what I did was I added, you know, I try to, when I do kits, I try to do a variety. And so I added this one for World Traveler. And then also too, it has some of the exact same colors. That came from Hobby Lobby, I think last year. And then what I did was I added some of my Focus product, which is journaling cards. And again, I just added some. There's a mailing label. How fun is that? That reminds me of also luggage tags. And so then, of course, just some of these journaling cards in this feel and color. Okay, so very, very simple to add. I added 1 frame and then some flags that I have made in the past. I just pulled those colors. So again, a variety of supplies, and I will have a video linked below showing how you can make these flags very, very quick and very, very simple and very, very fun. Yes, okay. So that is the Here and There by Photoplay. Yes, I have now this little mini collection, and it cost me 99 cents. Yes, love that. Okay, so let's go to the next one. And I'm not quite sure how to pronounce this, okay? But we're going to call it something. And it's another Photoplay line. And I'm just making sure. And of course, the piece of paper I started with was this right here, okay? Now, I think this is called Belle, how do you pronounce? F-L-E-U-R, Belle Fleur? I don't know. This is by Becky, Flac. And so, I'm going to move that there for a minute. This is the paper I picked from that collection as a starter piece for this collection. Very, very pretty. Of course, it's floral. What's not to like? Yes. And I will say something. As I was looking at these collections from the latest Creativation releases, one thing I noticed, I was drawn to a lot because a lot of them had florals. And I thought, if you're not a floral gal, wow, some of these collections, you would have to really piecemeal some of the papers because florals was heavily influenced in the collections. A lot of us like florals, but some people don't. But then also, too, I was trying to remind myself, this is spring and summer releases, so of course flowers would be a main component. So that is the piece of paper I picked. And then what I added to it was some basically some vintage papers, okay? And so just look at that. It almost looks Parisian, okay? And then there's that sewing notion. So I wanted to show in this collection when I was putting this together, it's amazing how when you get a piece of paper, then it reminds you of something else. And so what this reminded me of was I had a few pieces of these Kaisercraft. I do not buy a lot of Kaisercraft because it's not the paper weight I like to buy. And here's why I say this. If I'm going to pay 99 cents for a sheet of paper, I'm going to buy something that's, you know, that I could use as a background piece on a layout if I need be, okay? Kaisercraft has beautiful designs, but I mean, just look at that. That's beautiful, okay? But it's just, it could be thicker, okay? But then I'm glad they don't, because my wallet would really be skinny. Yes. Okay, so this is called the Miss Betty collection. So this here reminded me of this. So then I absolutely went and pulled. So we have like a vintage sewing, crafting, just fun. I don't know what you would call this. Maybe crafting, sewing, that type of thing. So then since I pulled that, I knew I already had this die cuts, okay? I love Kaisercraft die cuts, okay? Very, very expensive, $7 a pack. That's expensive. You used to get a lot more than you get now, but they were always nice weight. And that's what I didn't understand. Kaisercraft die cuts are heavier than their paper weight. That makes no sense to me. I don't know why they do that, but I love their die cuts. And so I am so excited about this one piece of paper. Now, I'm going to ask you, how do you pronounce this word? In our region, and this may just be a regional thing, this is pretty pineys. Oh, I'm sorry, peonies, okay? We call it pineys. That's what we say, P-E-O-N-I-E-S. We say pineys in our region. We call these pineys, okay? But I know watching other people, they call them peonies, okay? Well, we call them pineys. What do you call them in your region? I say just call them pretty, yes. So I was so excited that this paper reminded me of that Kaisercraft and then this die cut, because as I was putting this together, I came up with 3 layout ideas, and they basically have to do with my mom and her mom, and then making and sewing. I mean, just look at, oh, yes, yes, sewing. That is basically what this kit turned out to be. So then, of course, I just pulled journaling cards, because that is what I'm trying to focus on in 2019, and you see what I did. Life's a Stitch. Yes, look at that. So much fun, everyday buttons and a little bit of bag. That reminds me of like a general store, sewing, getting fabric, all that good stuff, which then prompted me to go and look and see what chipboard, because this is basically all flat here, and I went and pulled a chipboard of mannequin and then a camera and this chair, because the photo that I have in mind with my mom, she's sitting in one of her prom dresses that her mom made her. Very, very fun. Or maybe she made it herself. And there's a thimble. So it just made me go pull those vintage sewing type of embellishments. So that is Belle Fleur. Yes, the Pretty Pineys by Photoplay. Very, very pretty. That is just a pretty piece of paper. Yes. Okay. So then, that is what I added to that. I'm very excited about this. Of course, I'm going to say that about everyone. Okay, so now the next one is a fun one. It's the last one through Photoplay that I bought as far as for the series. And it is called Fishtails. Yes. Now, you know, with Echo Park in the last video, we had one called Pirate Tales. But in this one, it's going to be Fishtails. So this was fun too. And then as I put this one together, I did something a little different. So I'm excited to show you that one. Okay. So let's go to Fishtails. Absolutely. Okay. So I'm just pulling them here because I have them in a pile. So this is the paper from Photo Play. It's cute as a button. Okay, it's called Fishtails by Becky Flac. Yes, she's just rocking out the collections with Photo Play. And this is called Under the Sea. Yes, is that not just fun? Oh, there's so many layouts you could do with this. Yes, absolutely. If you had someone that loved, you know, this type of, you know, fishies, and, you know, I'll tell you what this reminds me of. It reminds me of that movie called Shark Tale, and we love that movie. So, and then also, too, it reminds me of Nickelodeon. Just fun. Okay, so what I did was I definitely took the color scheme of this whole entire paper, and it has a lot of beautiful colors, and this would be great for a boy, some boy pages, yes, because those kind of collections are hard to come by. So you see what I did. I just pulled the green, the red, the orange, the blue, and then also too that turquoise. So I basically just used that piece of paper and pulled colors in different scales. We have chevrons, we have dots, we have a little bit of like a flower power, and some stripes, and some watercolor, and again some other smaller stripes. Okay, so then what I decided to do is that I knew in my collection I had other pieces of paper that I bought in a single form in previous years, and I thought it would go with that. And so it would be this type of paper here. I believe this is by Pebbles, the crabs. Yes, isn't that fun? And then Finding Nemo. Love this piece of paper. Of course, this is by Echo Park, and this one's called Under the Sea. And that paper is called Under the Sea. This was the collection, which you can find this a Tuesday morning. I see a lot of people hauling that right now. Yes, you can tell that I have a Tuesday morning coming up in my future. So I'm excited about that. I haven't been to one for a while, and my hubby said that if I do not start using my gift cards, he will not get me anymore. So we can't have that now, can we? So I have some trips coming up. So I'm going to have a little bit of fun breaking out the gift cards. And then, of course, this was a Bo Bunny Boardwalk. I loved all the colors that was represented in Boardwalk. That is the B-side. Okay, that works well too. But I pulled it for the stripes because the stripes in this Bo Bunny exactly matches that Photo Play. So it's funny how you can take different manufacturers. There's Pebbles, there's Photo Play, there's Echo Park, there's Bo Bunny, and I'm going to have fun with all of it. And of course, this Under the Sea, that is also fun. So you can see I have a little bit of a kids aquarium, kids birthday party, kids swimming pool party, anything of this. This is going to be fun, yes. Or we could do a SpongeBob SquarePants layout. Very, very fun. So what I decided to add something different to this, which I absolutely love doing a kit this way. It takes a little bit longer time than just pulling out a sticker pack or a die cut pack, and I'll show that to you in just a minute. But what I also did is that I went and I pulled some papers that went along with this color scheme, and they're just dots, okay? These are by Jelly Bean Soup. This was just in a paper pad. So I just pulled this for something fun to play with because, you know, maybe I can make some embellishments or get out some dies. That would be fun. So that was just something different I decided to do. And then here is what I really, really enjoy doing, is that I went through my stickers and my die cuts in my chipboard binder, and I made basically my own 12 by 12 sticker sheet. Okay, this basically measures 12 by 12, yes. So what I did was put this on wax paper, and I will have a video linked below showing how I organize my stickers, my die cuts, and my chipboard, and they're all in binders. So I just got out my red and my turquoise and my yellow, and I pulled anything that had to have this feel of Under the Sea, this fish tails. I mean, I just love that piece of paper. Yes, I just love that. Yes, absolutely. Okay. And so, of course, you know, you can use this for Disney, amusement parks, going to the zoo, going to the aquarium, things like that. Okay. And so then what I did was I just pulled out a variety of chipboard, and then also stickers, and there was a couple die cuts in here. I just pulled out, there's an acetate piece, just keep swimming. Yes, absolutely. So this takes a little bit longer time than, like I said, pulling out a die cut pack or a sticker sheet or, you know, an embellishment pack, but this is a good use of something I already have. I already have this theme, this mood and feel. I just needed to put it together, and so I put it on a piece of wax paper. Now when you're doing something like this, try to make your wax paper a little bit bigger than what you need. I really should have made that a tad bigger, because when you put this in a kit, you're going to have to keep it protected. And usually what I do is I take 2 pieces of paper and I sandwich that homemade sticker sheet in that. Okay, I love doing this for a kit. I had so much fun sitting down, putting on a video, and just working. This is just fun. Yes. And of course, I love this title, or this little sticker that says off the hook. Yes, that's perfect. Yes, that's perfect for this type of fishtails. So that is very fun. This is just a cute collection by Photoplay. I'm wondering when Photoplay will show up at Tuesday morning. Yes, I need to stop talking about Tuesday morning. Yes, but I see that that is the craze right now, is Tuesday morning. Yes, you can get some good deals when you're used to paying $15 for a collection pack. And you can get them for $5 or $6. That's a savings. It truly is. Okay, so that is Fishtails by Photoplay. Okay, so that rounds up my Photoplay. I only got 3 pieces of paper, and I have 3 now collections. Yes, I have that, just pairing that one piece of paper up with what I already owned. Okay, isn't that funny? And let me just talk about something now before I get into simple stories. And it's going to be talking about paper. And this is something I noticed over the years, because when 6x6 paper started to come out. Now, you know I've been a long time scrapbooker when you can remember when 6x6 paper pads started to hit the market, okay? And so they were advertised, you know, basically for card makers, but then the scrapbookers, we like it all. And so then I was always falling in love with these 6x6 paper pads, and I kept thinking, why is it? Why is it? Why is it? It would be because of the color schemes. And I thought, okay, so then after I got to the point and I wisened up a little bit, and I told myself, you do not have to own every 6x6 paper pad that's on the market. You can start making your own color combinations. And for me, 6x6 paper pads, and I kept buying them and buying them and buying them and buying them. And I have a inventory of 6x6 paper pads that is a 3-digit number, and I will never reveal that number. Now, it may not be as much as some people own, but I have plenty of 6x6 paper pads, okay? So then I had to tell myself, little Missy, why do you keep buying these? And it was the color combinations. And then that's when I started to realize I could come up with these color combinations on my own, using them as inspiration. So that's how all of this has migrated over the years, okay? So when you see a collection, tell yourself, why are you drawn to that collection? It could simply be the theme, and you may already have some things that you own with that theme. You could just get a couple pieces and pair it with what you already own. Or it could be the color scheme. In this case, it is the theme and the color scheme, okay? So I took this one piece of paper, I added it to some just colors I already have, and then I added a couple of theme papers that I already previously bought in the past and I haven't used. So that is how you do and make your own collections on a budget. Yes, just one piece of paper. So I love doing that. I just love this piece of paper. Yes. So that is how 6x6 paper pads has helped me in my process. I try not to buy them anymore because I do have so many. But if you like 6x6 paper pads, you may want to hit that notification bell. And that's all I'll say about that. Yes. Okay. So now let's go to simple stories. Okay. We all love our simple stories. I'm going to show 5 new releases from Simple Stories and how you can get 5 new collections on a budget. Yes. Let's go with the new one called Springtime. Okay, so we're going to do that. Okay, so I did this one a little bit different too. I tried to show different ways of doing building these collections from your stash, because you can do it in a variety of ways. You can do this type of SOS, sampling of supplies, and then you can make a quick process. You can just pull one sticker sheet and call it good. You can just pull one die cut sheet and call it good, a die cut pack. Or then what you can do is just add bits and bobs. I showed that in video number 1. You can do it a variety of ways. You don't have to do it across the board. And you will notice that in my process, I do a little bit of everything. And why is that? Well, because I've been scrapbooking a long time, I have to keep it interesting. So switching things up all the time keeps this hobby interesting for me. Yes. Okay, so this is the paper. Sorry, got a little chatty there. Simple Stories Springtime. Of course, there's the floral. Again, a lot of floral. You'll see a lot of floral. But then that was in a lot of the collection. So this is my style. So in a collection, if you don't like florals, see what other piece of paper that would have this color scheme that you like, but it fits your style, okay? And then, of course, there's the B-side. Very, very pretty. But it's very, very basic. So what I did was simply just add that springtime, okay, because that is exactly what this is called, that springtime feel. I added some banners, some dots, strawberries, of course, and so then, of course, I pulled that color from the strawberry and then a wood grain. Very, very simple, okay. Now, this would be, if you took one of these away, you could absolutely do 4 for 4 series. Yes, because you're just using a small amount of papers. And 4 for 4 series, I have a playlist for that. That is where you just take a few pieces of paper, make 4 layouts and 4 cards, and it rocks. Yes, it does. Okay, so that is what I did for this Simple Stories Springtime. You know, something I want to say about Simple Stories is that some of you may remember before Simple Stories became as popular as they are now, they absolutely had a consulting, you know, scrapbooking consulting side of the business. It was called Memory Works, and a lot of us did that. I did that for a while, and that is how I got to know Simple Stories, but it was called Memory Works at the time, and then they realized they could make more money doing, you know, selling collections rather than doing that consulting business. And so it's funny how some of those don't even exist anymore. I think it's just close to my heart and Stampin' Up! Is there any other scrapbooking consulting businesses out there? You know, that would be a nice something to talk about, how that has changed over the years. Okay, so what I did for embellishments on this type of kit, I made myself a note. And so my note is, I have die cuts, and you know, I have in a composition book. Okay, right here it is. Okay, so I have showed this before many times on my channel, is that I have some die cuts in binders, I have some in composition books, I have some in packs, I do a little bit of all. So when I am pulling a supply for something like this, and I thought I had a note, yes, okay, right here, there's no way that I can put this entire book in my kit, and I'm not going to rip these pages out. So what you simply have to do is you have to make yourself a note. Die cuts, 2 Pebbles collections and die cut composition book. And look how fat and chubby that book is. Yes, that makes my heart sing. Sing, sing, sing. Yes, okay. So right here is the Pebbles, and I know basically where they are, but I wanted to show for filming. And so I know both of those collections. I mean, look at that. Pretty. And so I will just know that this Simple Stories and this Pebbles line will go together very nicely. So sometimes you can't put the item you want in a kit. You have to make a note. That's just what you have to do. Okay, so I wanted to show that, and then also too with that, I added some tags this time. Okay, I got out my little tag bin and just included tags. So sometimes when I'm in a kit building session, sometimes I'll reach for tags. Sometimes I'll reach for ribbon. Sometimes I'll reach for the washi. I try to go around my space and include different things at different times. So of course, these are things I made in a little embellishment video, and then also too some journaling cards and just little bits and bobs, because this is a category I'm trying to you know, reduce the amount I have. So there's some tags, journaling cards, and of course those die cuts. Okay, so you see I didn't do bits and bobs in the last 4 collections. Very fun. Okay, so now let's talk about another one of Simple Stories. Yes, this is called Little Princess. Oh, this is fun. This is fun. Okay, and I hope you're enjoying this type of series. I love seeing how people put things together and what their plan is. Okay, now I may get a question, or you may already be thinking this: how are you planning on using these, or when are you planning on using these and using it's funny, I have fun. I have glitter. Yeah, Little Princess, I have glitter. When am I planning on using these? Whenever I get to them. I just have them, and I'll show you how I have the first Echo Park. I'll show you that here at the end, how I have that bagged up, and that's exactly what I'm going to do with this. Just bag everything up. It'll be ready to go. And then honestly, I make kits, and I do not stress, do I have to use it within a month? No. Do I have to use it within the next year? No. I just have kits ready to go. And honestly, I think that's how I can make so many pages in a year, because I'm always in my space doing something. Scrapbooking is in my brain every single day, and then having kits, you can whip out some pages pretty quick. Okay, now I would say that I think I did pages quicker before I started filming, but then it wasn't as enjoyable as it is now. So you take the good with the bad. Yes. Okay, so the Simple Stories Little Princess, again, another floral. Okay, but I wanted to show you with this one because everybody's probably tired of the floral by now, unless you're a floral gal. Okay, but this is Little Princess, and so what I did was I just again took the colors. This is a very popular color scheme, and we can all do this with our eyes closed. Okay, it's just yellow. There's wood grain, my lawn fawn, and there is some Maggie Holmes. Okay, and then this is, I think, Simple Stories, I believe, or maybe a Heidi swap, and then again another Heidi swap paper. Okay, so I just took those colors and different scales, dots, stripes, geometric, and wood grain, okay, and paired it together, easy peasy. But then what I did was I took the theme of the Little Princess collection. Okay, this is called Make-A-Wish, and very, very pretty. Yes, okay. So I took that theme of the princess, and this is how I decided to pick the embellishments for this kit, okay? You don't have to do it the same every time you build a kit. There are so many ways. Actually, I think there are endless ways to build a kit. So what I did was I took that princess theme, and I decided to bling it up. So what did I do? I added bling. That's exactly what I did. Bling. Look at that purple and the white. And then this teal. This is what I did. I decided to bling it up. So I pulled out embellishments that had to do with this bling. Okay. Sorry if I'm getting out of kilter there. Okay. So there's another ornate piece that to me that looked like a carriage or a princess or both. And then of course there's the bling of memories. And then now we have pearls and bling and bling and bling in these different colors. There's more rhinestones and more rhinestones, and then there's a tassel with that bling on it, very, very pretty. And then of course more pearls. And then I added some Maggie Holmes Carousel. These are stickers. Of course, they say dream and love you. So this may have a princess theme, but you can do so many pages. I don't have to do about a princess. I can do about any kind of girl, because we're all princesses in somebody's world. Yes. Look at all the glitter. That's fun. A fun little touch. Yes. And then, of course, I just pulled out one journaling card. And sometimes I will do this when I'm building a kit. I will just pull out one of this to give me a representation that I have this type of supply. I can go reach more. And, of course, it said, and this happened. And then this happened. So I thought that was fun. And then, of course, sequins. Yes, pulled out the bling. So this is very, very fun. This could be a Disney page. This could be a birthday party page. This could just be about your little girl. This could be about a baby. This could be about a nursery. This could be about tea time. This could just be about playing with your dolls. Yes, this could go for so many. But what I did was I took that Little Princess, the mood and feel of what this theme was designed for, and then I made it my own just by adding bling. That was how I took my embellishments this time. So again, something different. You can do these in many, many different ways. Okay, so now if you don't like florals, you might want to close your eyes for a couple minutes because we have another floral line coming up. Yes, this is called Vintage Botanicals. Okay, very, very fun too. Okay, and so this one is called Simple Vintage Botanicals. Why would they have the word simple? But anyways, Vintage Botanicals. This is called Beautiful Day. This is a beautiful piece of paper. So again, what did I decide to do? Is that I decided to just go with this color scheme again and paired it up with this green. Okay. Now I want to show you something. When I'm flipping through a paper pad, what I will do is I will have the paper pad here and I will have this paper sitting right along the edge. And that is how you can tell if your greens and your blues, they're hard to match. And if they look good close up. So I just have the paper pad sitting here and then this inspiration piece sitting here, and I just leaf through it very quickly. Okay, I just love that process. Yes, I just sit on the floor, put on a video, have a cup of tea. I just enjoy the afternoon looking at paper. Okay, and this is a newsprint, okay? I just thought that was very fun. I think I have this upside down. That might look a little bit better. Yes, okay. So there's the green. There's some newsprint. And there's the different colors of this coral. This is a Heidi swap paper. So I just see how they had variations in corals. That was the paper I picked to go along with it. And then, of course, I added a wood grain because nothing is complete with floral and wood grain. Yes, you got to do that. Of course, if you could add a doily, absolutely. Now, as I was going through some paper pads and I was looking at this, I came across a paper studio pad that basically looked like this. It's just a different tone, a different shade, and I thought I'm gonna go ahead and throw that in there because you just never know. So basically that's a similar piece of paper. So if you have a paper pad, this paper studio paper pad, this Botanicals, that's almost similar to that. Very, very fun with that. Okay, so then what I did for embellishments on this one, I did a little something different. I absolutely pulled a die cut pack that I have in a binder. This is just Kaiser Craft die cuts. Yes, I absolutely have a binder and a composition book, and they're solely just for Kaisercraft. Yes, was my weakness at one time. I really, this is what I had a complete obsession about. But I can't really think $7 is something that's in my budget anymore for die cuts. It just isn't. Not when you can go and get them cheaper for $1.99 or things like that. But then this is why I'm on a spending freeze anyways, because I have enough of this supply. And moving on. So I thought this collection here by Kaisercraft really had the same feel of this vintage Botanicals. So I just pulled it. And when you're pulling something like this, don't worry that not every color matches. It won't. Don't stress over it, okay? And then what I did was I took that same vintage Botanical feel. I added this Maggie Holmes. I believe that's, no, this is Jen Hatfield. I'm sorry. So I added that, same thing. And then, of course, the butterflies, which came from that. And again, the butterflies and flowers, which came from that. So I just picked sticker packs and embellishment packs that had to do with this vintage Botanicals, which is floral and butterflies. And so very, very fun. So you see, I have die cuts, I have stickers, I have, what do they call this? This is basically fabric chipboard, and then this is wood veneer. I have a little bit of everything. Very, very fun. Okay, so now let's go to the next one. Very, very, this is more of a grown-up floral. So let's go to something else. A very, very colorful, called Sunshine and Blue Skies. Yes, you just gotta love that name. Yes, okay. So let me see where this ends. Okay, so you notice that with the ones I've been showing, I've only been buying one piece of paper, and look how many collections I've been showing. And all I did was buy one piece of paper, but I paired it with what I already owned. And you can see I didn't add the whole kitchen sink when I'm doing with these, when I'm building these collections. I'm just adding a few pieces of paper. I mean, honestly, a few pieces of paper, and basically the papers I'm adding are just tonal and tone papers. They're nothing heavy theme. They're just what I already have in paper pads and loose papers, you know. So this one is called Sunshine and Blue Skies. It's called Let's Escape. And so I just added a ledger paper, and of course this Heidi Swapp pineapple. I thought, why not break it out? Yes, I have a pineapple story I need to do, okay? And then of course this watercolor of this turquoise, this neon yellow, that's a Heidi Swapp paper, black and white stripe, Heidi Swapp paper, and this was a paper studio. This came from a botanical paper pad. So look at that, very, very fun. All I had to do was buy one piece of paper, and I have the mood and feel of this collection. I really like this. Okay, so then what I decided to do was to pull another Kaisercraft die cut, because I had the binder out, so why not? And so this color, this might be a little bit brighter, but you can see that a lot of these colors are represented in this die cut, and so that's just what I'm going to play with. Okay, now I did get this question recently, is that when I'm playing with these composition books and my binders, okay, and when I tear things out, let me see if I can show this. I got this question, okay? So what happens when you tear this out? Doesn't that leave a hole? Yes, it does, but it doesn't matter. You're not going to be reusing these pages, okay? I have some here in the front. I think it was with Chamel. That might be my other one. Right here it is. Look at the holes in this puppy. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to be reusing this. And I say the holier that your books are, that means the more productive you are. So you go, girl. Let there be holes. Yes, absolutely. Same way with these. I will not be reusing these sheets. So when I pull something off and you get a hole and you get rips and tears, it's no biggie. That's just what it was there for. It's just a temporary holding place for these die cuts. So of course, again, these colors may be a little bit brighter, but when you start to pair things together, you don't notice that. And then I just added one more sticker sheet. Of course, this is crepe paper Oasis, and of course, look at those colors. So this is crepe paper. That's Simple Stories. This is Kaisercraft, and there's Paper Studio, and there's Heidi Swapp. It doesn't get any better than that. No, it doesn't. And that is a We Are Memory Keepers paper. So you're just pairing it all together. But then what you're doing is that you're letting the manufacturer do the work for you. This piece of paper that cost you 99 cents, there is your theme. There's your mood and feel. That is your starter piece. There's, I mean, it's just everything. You just now just add to it. And I love this process. I absolutely love it. I often thought that if I could travel around the country and go to people's scrapbooks rooms, this is what I would do. I would build kits for people. That's what I would do. I would take the supplies and the style of that scrapbooker, and I would build kits for them. That's what I would do. If I won the lottery and I could travel across the country and the globe, that's what I would do. I would build kits with people's own scrapbooking stash. That's what I would do. Okay, we're going to go into the last one called World Traveler. This was a really nice collection. not was, it is a nice collection because it's unique. And how is it unique? Let me just pull my things off of here for a minute. Because it's a world traveler, it's vintage, but it's pastel vintage. That's a little different, okay? So it's called Vintage Traveler, okay? And so I'm not sure which is the A and which is the B. This might be the A. I don't know. I don't know how you can tell sometimes. I guess the barcode would be on the back, probably. But this is nice, but this isn't doing it for me. But this, of course, how can we pass up a map paper? Okay, so then what I did is I simply took this color and the feel of traveling and map. Okay, so I took added, there's a postcard paper, there's some turquoise paper, there's some text because there's text here, and then of course that pastel faded pink that was in that paper, some stamps. I mean, look at that, beautiful. And this, some of these are die cuts with a view paper, and then again just more of the same paper. Now this collection here got a little bit bigger than what I thought it was going to be, but it doesn't matter because I don't know what I could absolutely scrapbook with this paper. Yes, okay. I mean, just look at that. And then there's that bold blue. I took that blue from here just as a little bit of an impact. So isn't that very pretty? Okay. Now, of course, that is the wildflower paper pads. Okay. So that is, look at that. All because of the inspiration of this Vintage Traveler by Simple Stories. Very, very pretty. Okay, so then what I did, I added another Kaiser Craft die cut pack. Again, the binder was out, so why not? Okay, and so then look at the color scheme. Very, very perfect. Very soft, almost Victorian traveling. That's what it kind of reminds me of. Very, very pretty, okay? And then, of course, I added some of these luggage tags. That's what I call mailing labels. And so then what I decided to do in this one is that I decided to break out lump and bump. So I broke out some of these paper clips, resin pieces, another paper clip, shaped paper clip, and these Prima flare buttons, and then some of these faux chipboard that I have made myself. I pulled them out of my container because I thought the colors went really well. There's a vintage Prima button, and I just played with some lump and bump. So I have some flat die cuts, and I have the lump and bump. And you see how, again, I used a variety of supplies. I didn't just go with all stickers and all chipboard. I now have some paper clips in this one, and some resin pieces, and some faux chipboard. Very, very fun. Okay, so those are the 8 collections by Photo Play and Simple Stories that I decided to get in this SOS series, a sampling of supplies to help our wallet because it's signaling that we are distressing because we're spending too much money. This is how you can do it on a budget. So I now have these additional 8 collections, and all I spent was $7.92. Yes, because all I did was just buy one piece of paper from each of those collections from Photo Play and Simple Stories. So just in the Echo Park video number 1 and this one, okay, that was how many? 8 and 8. That was 9. That's 17 collections. And yes, I've only, well, you'll just wait till you hear at the end how much money I saved. So I spent $7.92, and now I have these 8 collections. I have a sampling of these collections now I can play with. This is all fresh and fun because this paper here is new. I haven't even played with them, so they're all getting used. Very, very fun. And then I'm pairing it with what I already own. And here's the best part. If you already own it, chances are you already love it, because then why is it in your space if you don't love it? Yes, absolutely. Can I get an amen for that? And so I spent $7.92 on those 8 pieces of paper, and that's all I did. I just bought one single piece of paper for those 8 collections. Now, if I would have bought a collection pack, which on back in the good old days when I was shopping and just buying things left and right, you know, building my inventory, I would have bought a collection pack on probably most of those. And if I would have bought 8 of those $14.99 collection packs, I would have spent $119.92. So just by buying that single piece of paper, pairing it with what I already own, guess how much I saved? $112 even. Yes, $112. I mean, that is a wake-up call. It really, really is. And this is why I like to do this, and this is why I like to show this. You can save a lot of money by pairing just simply one piece of paper with what you already own, and then doing a variety of supplies. Everything feels fresh and fun, something new, something different, and then you don't feel left out. You are getting a sampling of these supplies. Yes. Okay, so now that is all I have for video 2 when it comes comes to the SOS series. So in video number 3, what are we going to be doing? Okay, so let me look at my notes here. So in video number 3, we are going to talk again about another 8 collections. I told you we're going to cover 33 collections in this series. So up for the next video, we have Authentique and we have Kaisercraft. So that will be interesting. And I can guarantee you there will be more floral because a lot of floral in these collections for this spring and summer release. Of course, that makes sense. So I hope this was enjoyable. If you have any questions, please list them below. If I talked about anything, I will have the videos linked below. And that is all I have for today at RTS. So come back because you never know what we're going to do. Bye.